The society needs more REM, time to dust off the gem, shaming women into hating men. But then again, abuse them so we can't depend on them. No class now, but he was born at 10. The Matrix, a parasite's den. Speak through my pen. He was a 10, that must have been. Couldn't trust his family and friends. Tried to get high on trends. Are you brave? He said it depends. Stop being a slave and make amends. Watch as your mind ascends and observe how reality now bends. Flamaki. Greetings, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful beings. What an honor and a privilege it is to be able to share this moment with you. Ashe. So, this offering came to me a few hours ago, and I'm sitting here researching the meaning of REM. So I'm like, Spirit, what are you trying to say with this poem? She was then, can't you? REM is overly destructive, because REM sleep is not deep sleep. It's where you're close to being awake. There's a lot of eye movements, etc. Hence, REM stands for rapid eye movement. And then the other meaning of REM is ionized radiation. And ionized radiation is destructive to the bones. You know, you could literally kill a being from inside. And so literally this poem is saying society, the idea of society, needs to be wiped out. Hence the dusting off of the gem. I'm like, yo, I got this poem this morning, and I typed, and when I get a poem, I quickly go jot it down or type it in my phone, and I didn't even I knew REM had something to do with sleep, so I was like, oh, it's a positive thing. Maybe it's saying as society, we need to get more rest. Can't you? No. The whole concept of society needs to be eliminated, and the whole concept of civilization needs to be eliminated, and our roots and culture remembered and reawakened for us to have our most blissful experience in this realm. Because I'm like, wow, so beautiful. Just yet another confirmation that, this is all channeled poetry. It's not, I don't ever sit down and say, what can I write today? Let me write down my emotions. Every single poem, even if it's about an ex, even if it's given to me. I don't go sit down and okay, I want to write a poem today. Yeah, and that's so beautiful. I'm so honored, and I give thanks. And that's why I make sure I do my best to share, to come on here and share. I am doing some refining and regulation, so hence a bit of increase of crickets on my platforms. I give thanks to the crickets. The crickets hold the fort for me when I am busy. But very soon I'll be back on here, consistent again. This offering is all about the reprogramming. Civilized is just another way of saying tamed, so that implies that we are savages, in which we are not. We are divine beings. We are all actually meant to be, think of us as like plugs, plugs coming from one main source, and we just all and we can plug into any reality. Wow, I've never thought of it that way. I can literally see it in my mind. I can just see a bunch of cords with plugs on it for some reason, not South African pins. I don't know why, because in South Africa we have the 3 round fingers on the plug, because they really think that I need to say fingers because I can't say pins. And then when I've come across some international plugs. I don't know from which countries that have just two thin pins, and for some reason I'm seeing that specific plug, and it's all coming from one, one ball of energy that's just like vibrating, and lightning bolts are coming off of it, and it's just like alive, and all of these chords are just coming from it, and we can plug into any reality. Wow, that's beautiful. So yeah, this poem is all about programming, and I was even giggling earlier because my consciousness was talking, and it's like, okay guys, I'm still learning how to explain my mindscape. So the consciousness stream is like, even those people who feel lonely and think they're alone, they aren't alone, because they have parasites because of society, the food that is promoted from birth, literally, that is already not good for us. What's sold in retail, mainstream, this is baby food, this is baby products. No, that is not baby food. Don't you ever, and I've had professional nurses confirm this. I've watched tons of documentaries. You can go research it yourself, what is good and bad for baby. And that will also affect the baby's mood. A baby that cries a lot and is super gripey, this was probably what they eat. And then if you're giving them a perfect diet, then it was probably who's around them. And in order to give a baby a perfect diet, you're gonna have to have access to some good, fresh, ripe, organic food, avocados, because you can't put acid in a tiny baby's tummy, so you have to research it. My daughter's turning 8, and she's like, "Mama, I really want twin sisters for my birthday." And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, one small detail. Emperor. Okay, Emperor. Because you need a specific ingredient to make the baby become into reality. Anyway, so as I was saying, almost everyone except for people who have now consciously went on the journey to remove parasites, and they can go for alkaline test now, and to know you are alkaline, and whatever that is, if it's possible for you to completely clear your vessel in this lifetime, that would be amazing. I'm sure it's possible. Anything is possible. Wow. Because I've been on a gradual journey. Like, I drink my teas every single day, and I do my best to make wholesome meals with what I can afford, at home. And I do not do shop bought bread. That was a easy thing to cut out. Stuff like shop bought bread, consumed in my household. Meat, very seldom. If ever I am to buy meat, I do my best to go to those far places where you go to the abattoir, I'm not interested. Literally, the last time I tried to make meat was because someone else bought the meat, and that's usually the case. So, as I was saying, I'm doing my best. Guys, I had to pause and go and help my baby come in because it's come from school time. But anyway, we are to program. So to get back to what consciousness was saying. Consciousness was like, I was like, oh my god, but we have parasites, and then consciousness was like, yeah, even those people who think they're alone, they're not alone because they have parasites, and those parasites affect the decisions we make. It's those parasites that crave the same things over and over, and I even know that song, like, you are not alone, blah blah, like, for example, in that thin voice. But anyway, and what made me even get to that was the thought of rations, and that because we're used to it, we like what it smells like, we used to it, and we're used to those tastes. So as society, we're going through a phenomenal age where we're even going to be reprogramming what we thought was delicious, good food, because that food actually comes from slavery, like fried meats and stuff. The reason why we even started making that sort of thing was because we didn't have a choice and we had limited resources, and we would use pork fat to fry the offcuts of chicken that the boss's wife didn't want, So all the prime cuts were given to the boss's dinner table, and the offcuts, the skins, heads, whatever, left for the help. And that's how fried foods came about. That's how diabetes and heart disease came about. Us still following recipes and doing things the way we did when we were enslaved. The whole of society is built on a degraded way of living. How we should be living is so luxurious, so free, so fulfilling. Someone was saying the other day, she is not happy that she's unable to walk down her street and pick a fresh fruit off a tree, and then go to the next street or whatever, and then pick a different type of fruit. And because at this point we're supposed to be at that point as evolution, aren't we? And as I was explaining to my son, I watched this documentary where basically it said that around the year 1901 they did this global reset to advance us, instead of continue advancing, this was to pause us and to also take us like a whole century or two back, or not even way more than that, because history was completely altered. A lot of information was deleted. Then wars were suddenly planned and stuff, and those wars were planned to also delete a lot of information by destroying architecture and stuff like that. So now we don't have proof, we don't have the history, and the other history was hoarded. History that's of value to them was hoarded in places like the Vatican. So there was this mass, reset and removal of information, and a new indoctrination placed forward of what we should do, what we should believe. And then it was also attempted again now in the millennium. I believe in the 2000s it was attempted again. There was this attempt done again where there was this mass clearing on the internet where you just can't find certain information. The other day something just hit me. I was like, there was this two girls who came out with, I don't know if it was a full album, and they weren't sisters. They were friends. They met somewhere. The one was more boyish and the other one was more feminine, and their music was very Orisha centered. Where are they? What had happened to them? If you know what I'm talking about, what had happened to them? There was even this one song where they're like, ore ye oh, ore ye oh, ore ye oh, and that came into my mind, and that's what made me think of them, like, they just vanished. And then they were replaced by twin sisters, and even those twin sisters, only one survived. The other one, still missing in action. And I'm like, is there any satisfaction in those circles? None whatsoever. There's no end result. It's just a continuous cycle of pain and just self-destruction. So here we are, here we go. What a phenomenal time to be alive. We are living in one of those times that is being recorded and will be in history books, because it's such a phenomenal time with such phenomenal change taking place. We are so privileged to be alive right now, to be witnessing this. So privileged. Like, this is a legendary moment in time, in history. record as much as you can and print it into pictures and create time capsules and bury it around places and draw up maps and also bury it around places so that whoever finds the map can then go and find the time capsule, It's so much fun. Or do the message in the bottle if you live near a river or a water body. Please. Oh, it's something I really want to do, But yeah, I look forward to being out of this restricted season in life. Things have been really tight. I feel like I've been wearing a corset spiritually for the last decade. Oh. But I'm here. I'm happy to be alive. I'm so happy to have survived, and not just survived, but thrived. I'm gonna go and make sure my little ones eat and their uniforms are not scattered, decorating the place. Thank you for listening in. As I looked up, I just saw 555. Thank you for listening in, sharing this moment with me. Until next time, arigato gozaimasu. You will always do what you want to do, because never doubt it. The Most High loves you.